Hello, 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 and welcome to the Hildebrand Law Firm topic for today. I'm Matt Kaplan,
I'm Mark CLAUSS.
and you notice a fresh face here. We have Mark, who has just joined us as partner here at Hildebrand Law Firm. In this video, we're going to get to know Mark a little bit. You'll soon learn that he's a man of very few words, so please bear with him. But what he won't tell you, I will make sure that I squeeze it out of him. So. Mark, I know brevity is your strong suit. So if you could please give us a brief rundown, tell us about yourself, Mark.
Oh my
Tell
goodness.
us
So
more.
Matt clearly hasn't met me yet. No, we've met. It's been great. I'm in first few days here, and I'm coming from Sprecher Brewery. I was general counsel for them for nearly 4 years. We've transitioned and grew that business 40% CAGR year over year, going from a few regional states to the entire U.S. and several other countries.
Did you say 40% kegger?
CAGR, yeah, cost after gross revenue.
Oh, okay. I think
it's a
so.
way to,
Kegger,
yeah, well, it
like what
kind
I
of fits a brewery.
like what we used to have in
Exactly right.
college. Okay.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So they went on a very large growth, and they are continuing along that growth path. And what a great journey that was for Sprecher, and being in-house, what a great position for me to be in. I'd like to bring that expertise to other growing businesses. And one thing that Kirsten and I were talking about was how can we take some of that knowledge and help other companies grow as quick with robust back office support. And one thing that Hildebrand Law Firm can do is provide those services and some of that expertise to help launch some small businesses, medium-sized businesses, or even support on some litigation for some larger issues that companies might find themselves in.
I love that.
So being, a foot deep and a mile wide on all sorts of topics, from food safety regulation to alcohol rules to employment issues to trucking to shipping to supply chain. I've kind of seen it all in that world, and I'm happy to bring those experiences to other businesses as well and continue that relationship.
Yeah, because if
Um,
someone doesn't have someone like you, then the owner is doing everything themselves.
Right. And sometimes it's just being pointed in the right direction. There's a lot, as businesses know, the smaller you are, the more hats you wear. And if you just get pointed in the right direction, you can get a good way there on your own. But you'd rather focus on your business rather than a lot of this other stuff that comes along with it.
So a rumor that I've heard is when breweries tend to be the birthplace of shenanigans,
Oh, for
uh,
sure.
like Florida, and so I guess, do you have any good stories from the brewery that you can share, or any good stories from your time in Florida that you can share?
No.
Okay, good.
So as a lawyer, you'll understand there are certain
Of
confidentiality
course.
issues that you need to comply with. And that actually tailors into something that Kristen and I just talked about, the non-compete rule change that's going to be blanket across the nation. Wisconsin has its own way of dealing with things. Um, and now, with the interplay between federal and state law on that topic, confidentiality is a fantastic way that businesses can keep protection
Hmm.
for their efforts and their business when employees come and go. So that's a topic you can keep, and you can work around the fact that you can't have a non-compete, but you can control what it is that the employees who leave can talk about,
Sure,
and how to kind of have some clause in that, to protect some of your fundamental assets, like your intellectual property, your
hmm,
secret recipes,
sure.
your way with which you conduct your business.
Okay.
So that's a topic that I'm happy to discuss with small businesses, large businesses, or even employees who have left a business and don't know what the rules are for them to get their new job, because they signed something but they don't know what it means. And there's a lot of gray area there, and sometimes it's best just to have a conversation so you can feel comfortable moving on with the next chapter. Um,
So then, Mark, before you did in-house, I know you have just a wide array of experience. Besides in-house, what was your favorite thing that you did legal-wise, and what was your least favorite thing that you did legal-wise?
sure. Well, I spent 15 years litigating financial disputes. So litigating for Fortune 500 companies, for small local businesses, regional banks, Typically, my client base was lenders and financial institutions, but there were a number of developers there and other small businesses that we'd help protect assets when they weren't getting paid, or when they found themselves having a priority dispute over real estate and a transaction gone bad. For example, when you don't properly close a transaction and the money isn't dispersed in the proper order, you may think you have seniority rights to your debt on a particular property, only to find out that there's a few people in front of you who were supposed to get the money and didn't get the money, and they are keeping their position, and where'd the money go? Okay. So a lot of argument and fights in that world, a lot of working with title companies, a lot of working with real estate disputes over everything from where does the property start, where does it end, whose rights are encumbered, whose aren't, who owns it. And also when companies change and merge, how do you deal with their assets and transferring of those assets and keeping those in place? So usually from a business side, and on the litigation side, a lot of kind of tailoring into the favorites, going to trial and putting together the dossier of exhibits and how to argue business records in a trial setting. Because a lot of times it's a lot of paper, and how do you keep people awake? If you're dealing with 3 days of trial and it's all bank records,
snooze fest, right?
Especially if you're talking it out. I mean, it's I feel like a lot of it's kind of keep it simple in those regards. Charts, tables, graphs have been very useful in court in those settings, but they all need to be supported by the evidence. So a lot of what I did in that world was, you learn the case, you line up the evidence, but then you need to make it presentable because this judge has 50 other things to get to that day, and you need to get there quick and kind of cut through a lot of the issues. So I enjoyed doing that. Things I didn't like doing, well, at the time, you're going to school, you're raising a family, and it's just the time crunch of a life. Balancing both of those is something I've learned how to do over the years. I'm married. I have 2 children, 16 and 13, both girls. We're live in Whitefish Bay, and being a dad has been a huge part of my life. And it's interesting how.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
qualified. Yes.
I take a deep breath.
With a giant asterisk. Oh my gosh.
How many kids do you have?
0.
So right,
I have a 4-legged child.
It's certainly an amazing thing, and it's something not to be taken lightly. In my view, there are your idea of something and the reality of it kind of come together, and it's a lot like running a business. Being a parent and being a friend to your child can happen, but you also need to be a parent and learning how to let that child be themselves and be okay with the fact that they like stuff that maybe you don't. They're not just little mini versions of you. That was a huge lesson that I think a lot of businesses and folks who run businesses in general, letting their people do what they do best and guiding them in the direction of the business, I think is something that is very analogous to being a parent. Yeah. So it's really neat to be a part of that, to help young businesses grow in a proper way so that their people can be as effective as possible. And I think having good policies and procedures that help you follow the guidelines of the regulations out there, but also let you do what you do and do it in your special way so that you can be competitive in the marketplace, really helps businesses move quickly, and it helps the employees clearly know what they're doing every day.
Excellent. So you got a good idea of what Mark's about. Like I said, a man of very few words. Trying to get him to talk is like pulling teeth.
Oh, of course.
Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you are for children or against children. Let me know if you're on Team Mark or Team Matt. And so, because I want to hear from you. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, everyone's against them. So leave a comment. Make sure you like the video. You're going to see a heck of a lot more of Mark in the future. He's got a really diverse knowledge base. He's super interesting to talk to. And so we've got a lot of really fun topics coming down the pipeline. Mark, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's
I
awesome.
look forward to more of this.
Oh, man, it's awesome having you here. And just remember, here at Hildebrand Law Firm, we're always here for your today and your tomorrow. Thank you.